Okay, everyone, I just want to see. This is a test stream. I haven't been on for a while. I want to see if I'm on all three of the different streams. I guess I can check while I'm on here. Give me a minute. If anyone's out there, let me know that you're here, and if you can hear me, and if it's all going well. I definitely want to get back to streaming. It's been a while, guys. It's been a few months, I believe. So give me 1 second, guys. I appreciate it. Hey, Rolling Kaladi. I guess Kaladi. 1 second. This might help. Rolling Kaladi, yeah. Doing well, all things considered. I'm just checking to see if I'm on all the platforms. Thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate it, man. It looks like I'm on all three. That's awesome. Except for Patreon. I tried not Patreon. Sorry, I'm thinking Patreon because they've withheld my funds on Patreon. Why? I don't know. They said at one point it was because of email change, which is fine. And then they said that, well, we did send the money. I said, but I never received it. Well, you'll get it in 5 days. It's been 11 days, 10 days actually. I don't know. I just sent a mass email to all supporters to see what they could do. If they want to change it, change their contributions to Crazy Cat, Fab 668, Hamilton Burger, Rolling Collodi, ID Crisis Design, Rumble, Hamilton Burger, yes, Rumble. I tried, I think that Star Wars girl told me in the King's Room that there's a certain thing you got to do, and I said, thanks a lot. But it just doesn't work. Do you need a streaming key of some kind? I don't know. I hope you guys can hear me. I hope there's no echo. I hope this sounds well. Let me know also. This is a test run. I want to get back to streaming. I've been swamped. Good evening, Alpha Channel. I've been absolutely, I mean, I'm late on the Pigman #1. I'm sorry about that, guys. I had to do some serious deadline work on this other project. I'm tempted to show you a little of it. I don't know, man. It seems like it hasn't been officially announced yet, but it's 18 by 18 by 24. The sheets of paper. It's huge. Thanks, man. Thanks, random Mick Randerson. Appreciate it, man. That sounds great. Excellent, excellent. No echo, no issues. Audio is all good. Excellent. Rolling Colorado. Thanks a lot, guys. Hamilton Burger looks good. Sounds good. Awesome. Crazy Cat. I'm watching Superman now for the first time. There's a lot to not like about it. I mean, that's where hey, people hate it. People love it. I liked it a lot. I think David Cornsweet's a great Superman. I think he's a great Superman. I think he was a little hindered by that suit, even though it looks better on film. There are aspects I really like, but I think also it's not a truly James Gunn film. He's very self-indulgent, and his thing is to have orgies in shows like Peacemaker. That's his thing. So it's tough for him to step up and be a Superman type director. But all things considered, he did pretty damn well. And again, I'm looking forward to seeing Cornsweet and more Superman. Hopefully they do like a Crisis on Infinite Earths with Henry Cavill as the older version of Superman. I mean, think about that. Wouldn't that be great? Thanks, Mary, guys. I just wanted to check in, but I got an all-nighter up ahead of me. Again, I've been just absolutely swamped. I'm on the final stage of the current project I've been doing for the last few years. And now I'm doing, because I did all the writing, took about a year, all in about a year. It was maybe 6 to 8 months, and then I said, you know what, I can cut more. And even as I'm going, I'm still cutting. But now I'm doing the final transfers. I had to get a whole new light box because it was again 18 by 24. I just want to show you the sheets. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Here are the size of the sheets. I can't even show them on screen. Here are the size of the sheets. I've never worked this big before, and I gotta say, for a moment there, before the first transfer, I was like, maybe I should do it for a little. I said, no, because I want this particular book to be a particular size in the print version, meaning it'll be supposed to be 8 by 14. I instead did it 8 by 13 because it fits better, and it's still a nice size. I have the size here to show you also how it'll be in print. Give me 1 second, guys. I can't find it for now, but anyway, it's still a really nice size, really nice size. It'll be 8 by 13 again. Most of these books are like 6 by 9, right? Most comics, a little taller than you are wider. This is a substantial amount taller. It'll be 6 inches taller, 5 actually. Anyway, so here are the pages. I'm beginning to transfer them, and not just that, I'm beginning basic. Okay, by transfer I mean this. All my roughs were done on a certain size, a smaller size. Then I do bigger versions of them where I refine them, improve them, and then what I do is I go to a print shop and I print out 18 by 24 versions of them to transfer them, and they're pretty detailed. These roughs, I wouldn't even call them roughs. Looking at some of the pencils that Ditko did sometimes, those were roughs, and they were called pencils. These are highly detailed, and on top of that, I wrote all the dialogue in. So just to get a good idea of what I need, the space I need. So then, what I do is I take those sheets, bring them to the print shop, print them in 18 by 24. I don't care the quality. It's just a thin paper, just to transfer on the light box, which I needed a whole new light box to do it in. And then I take it to my art table. I love my art table. I got it a number of years ago in California, looking for a new art table. The one I had wasn't quite cutting it, and I'm online. What was it? Craigslist, if you remember Craigslist. I'm looking for one, and this one guy has this one, and it jumped out at me. It's so awesome. It has this massive, like a cylinder right in the center. You can lift it high, lift it low. It's huge. And I work on almost a perfect angle, but of course it's a little tilted with my head. So I look at the art director. There's no there's no way that I can miss. I'm gonna read your comments from 1 minute, guys. There's no way I can miss the what I'm looking at, because if you work too far at an angle, you misperceive it. It gets a little warped. Anyway, so I do that, and then I put the inkstone, and I'm coloring it digitally, lettering it digitally, and the lettering I had to stop cold the other day to find some new techniques, and for the first time ever, I'm lettering now entirely through Photoshop. I didn't know you could do that. It was always Illustrator. Now you can do it entirely on Photoshop, and as well. And to me, even better, because it's a lot more easy to do. Even though I had to go through hours of looking at some new stuff and some videos, and looking at new videos for how to letter comics, right? Just start from scratch, because I haven't done it in a while. At least comic books, cartoons is one thing. And one guy's advice was hire a letterer because it's too difficult. It's too and it is. But once you know it, you know it. And there's something about me that I have to do it all. And it's not you want to call it control freak, whatever. There's something about owning it all. Every line is mine. It's very important to me. Pencil, write, pencil, ink, letter, color. Do it all. And then, of course, I even do the shipping. I even do the printing. Anyway, so just a quick glimpse. There's something there, and then another little glimpse of something. And I will tell you all about it at some point. Anyway, just want to show you a quick look. I'm going to put those away. And it's awesome to have, again, these incredibly oversized sheets of paper. Comic books, they're done on 11 by 17 paper, right? and usually it's drawn at a certain point. It's what, 10 by 15, I think, at that point, right? That's the most common. Uh, these are 18 by 24, and some of the pages will be 18 by 24. Most of them will be, technically speaking, because the first few pages are 18 by 24, and then it'll be about 16, 17 by 21, 22, maybe even 20. 14 by 20, I think, or 21. Because of the borders, but I do bleed off the page a lot. I'm gonna have these, and there's something about the height issue. I want it to be heightened, and some of you know why. I still feel a little reluctant to even mention it, but I do mention it at times, like on King's, what I'm working on. Sorry, guys, I got this. Anyway, let me read your comments, guys. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for being here, big time. I didn't know what to expect. I just wanted to test the waters, get back on track here, stream, bust my ass, and keep going back and forth and show progress on Pigman and on my current project as well. Let me read all your comments, guys. I'm prone to do that. If people say, "Oh, you shouldn't always do that," I don't care. I just want to show my appreciation for your presence here. Roland Colodi says, "You're good with Pigman number 1. Take your time. I'll wait." I appreciate it. I really do. And people have been pretty damn cool, I gotta say. It's a little late. There's a few factors why, but it's coming along well. And again, with this other project, I had to pull a few all-nighters to get things done. Because again, it's like I want to fit more than doing 1 page a day, but it seems to take the bulk of the day to transfer, ink, color, and letter. And I know, some people are like, well, sometimes like days. For me, probably a full day. And I want to get to the stage I got with Table of One. Table of One, there were days I could do 10 pages of inking, believe it or not, one day. Now, the style was a little more simple, I think, than this current book I'm working on. This one, I'm packing it in with as much authentic background detail as I can. Not that I didn't do that with Table of One. I did. I researched a lot, restaurants and so on. I want to get the authenticity factor. If you look at even the kitchen and the coffee area in Table of One, the cappuccino machine, everything is just rock solid. And it looks, again, it's realistic in a sense where it looks authentic, but of course it's stylized. But that's what I'm doing with this one. I'm trying to get, I have to push myself more than I have, I gotta say, for this project than any other one. I've had to push myself as a writer, as an artist. It's interesting also, all the likenesses that aren't quite likenesses. I have certain models, but it's not as obvious, because sometimes it's an amalgamation of a few at once. Okay. Excuse me. Hamilton, I saw X on YouTube. Did not see Rumble. Yeah, I just can't seem to pull up on Rumble. I tried a number of times. Random McRanderson says, "I haven't seen a superhero movie since Endgame." Wow, I decided superhero movies were over then. I hear you, man. There's not been, the only one that really jumped out that's worth, I think, the Amazing Spider-Man, the No Way Home. That was fun. Seeing Tobey Maguire and what's his name? What is his name? What the hell? The other Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man actor. But anyway, that was good. That was entertaining. The concept was good. Seeing those guys brought into the fold was pretty damn cool. Entertaining as hell. But I hear you. The Infinity War was great. Endgame I thought was great, but you got its critics. I even think that Dark Knight Rises is great. I know people out there think it's the poor man's version of the first two and so on, and it's maybe not as good. I mean, having Bane, Tom Hardy play Bane, the situational stuff in there, the emotional punch in there. I think more so than the others. Um, the fact that you have this totalitarianism displayed on screen, with the wealthy being ripped from their homes, that's not by accident. I don't think. Look, I don't know what Christopher Nolan's politics are, and the fact is that I don't know. I think I know, meaning he's not a leftist. I'm not saying he's a right winger. I'm not saying he's conservative. I'm not saying he's Christian, but let's just say he, his Batman movies were a response to 9/11. It was the first time we had an entertaining pop culture. Batman's villains were all terrorists. They were all terrorists. From Ra's al Ghul to the Joker to Bane, they were all terrorists. They were all nihilists, and that was, I think, the response to 9/11. Excuse me. It was only a few years after 2005, Batman Begins. You know, and clearly they had been thinking about it prior to that. So, um, Roland Colati says, I made a new friend, Samantha. She finally watched the new Superman. She liked it too. Awesome. It was fun. It was really visually cool. Crazy Cat 9 says, visually it's fun, but the story's off. I hear you, Crazy Cat. Again, they have his James Gunnisms. He can't refrain from them, even though this is the cleanest movie I think he's made. I think it is. There's romance there. There's really fun adventure. The science aspect is great. Luthor is evil. We haven't had that in a while. He's absolutely evil. It's really good. And the envy factor there, to the point where he makes almost peace with it and uses it, because we know there's an envy factor there for Lex Luthor. And it would have worked even more so with the actor who played Lex Luthor in the last iteration, Batman vs Superman, because that guy exudes envy. He's a nerd. But this guy is as tall as Superman almost. He's handsome, and so he doesn't have that kind of thing. But he's still, to him, he thought he was the best, and of course this guy comes in. Excuse me. I'm gonna get a lozenge. 1 second. Okay. All right, guys. I hope you don't hear me with a lozenge. That sucks. I don't like when people eat on the air and stuff. I just got to get this because I'm really coughing away. Hamilton Burger says, hope to see you streaming again in the not too distant future. It's nice seeing you on Kings, but it isn't the same. I appreciate it, Hamilton Burger, and I always appreciate streaming. I really enjoy it. I went from from streaming regularly to my main channel being knocked out, and I was like, it's tough. It's tough enough to earn an audience. On X, I have a pretty large one. It's growing, 30 something thousand. That's good. And I know people are here watching from there, but the engagement factor on YouTube is the best. There's no other engagement as good. There's some, clearly, as I see here, but most of it is on YouTube. I had about 1,800 that I lost, and then I got it back. So this is what I'm streaming on right now on my older channel. Excuse me. Yeah, random Mick Randerson. It's basically a small poster. That's crazy. Yeah, it's huge. I love it. And again, for that moment, I was like, in terms of the light box, this and that, I was like, how about if I transfer in smaller paper and just make it into 8 by 13? I said, no, this one. Plus the original art, I had to redo the contract with the publisher to say, look, I want to own all the original art, and they were cool with it. We just had to rewrite it. So that's my I love it. And people who want this particular book, who want the original art, they're gonna have huge sheets, 18 by 24. And again, sometimes they're gonna bleed off completely to the edges. Often, every so often, when I establish a new thing, I make like the building as tall as hell on the side, on the left or on the right, in the middle sometimes, or just a big huge shot opening up and then going to the conventional. And again, it'll be a 16 panel grid. I didn't lock that in early on. I started doing that a little into the book. And to me, it was unavoidable because it's such a dense book. And I was like, this is why Frank Miller did The Dark Knight that way, because it's such a dense book. A lot of talking heads, a lot going on, a lot of transitions, different characters, different scenes, everything. And so I said, that's the one that works. Of course, it's not locked in, meaning I'll have other things, you know, like this one here. This is a little different than what the average thing will be in the book, But this will be something here will be like this, This will be like that, and I gotta show hit and run with you guys. But Ahoy, Toxic Dust 13. Drawing as an artist, edition size. Yeah, it'll be like it's as big as you know what? It's bigger. Let's see. It's bigger than any of these artist editions that I have here. It's bigger than my Sin City, than Batman Year One, than Dark Knight Returns. Clearly, then it's bigger than everyone here, than all of these here, which is pretty damn amazing. I gotta say, it's larger than any of them. So if there ever is to be an artist edition, it'll be the biggest one that I've seen. Even though I think, if I'm not mistaken, the gallery edition of Ronin seemed really big, but I don't know if it's bigger than this. Ha! Hamilton Burger, 8 by 13 feet. That's right. 8 by 13 inches, the actual published book will be. It'll be a nice tad taller for a reason. Crazy Cat 9 says Jeff Darrow did oversized books with Dark Horse. His collabs with Frank Miller. Yep. Big Guy, Rusty Born Robot, and Hardboiled. Yep. I have one of those editions of Hardboiled, the hardcover one. I have I think a smaller version of the Rusty Born Robot. I just reread that recently. It's fun. Very fun. Crazy Cat 9, that's good advice. Let me know what you mean by that. Tutorial Slave says, I'd call it Renaissance Man. Sorry, guys. I lost the context here. Apologize. I wasn't here. Toxic Dust 13, you're cool, dude. Keep it up and hope you and Vaz can make a show. Me too, man. Me too. Salty Traveling Sea, excited for the new book. Me too, man. Salty. It is it's a dream come true, hands down. It's something that I was years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, involved with another project, and I kept pushing to do this one instead of that one. And they wouldn't quite go with it. They were like, they said, no, this one where I see it, but I want to do that one more. I said, and then we'll do the other one maybe later. And they wouldn't go for it. So now, 8-10 years later, I'm doing it, and I'm doing it alone. I'm writing, penciling, inking, lettering, coloring. And those I'm working for are deferring a lot. They basically leave me alone to do my thing, and they seem very pleased with it, and I'm very pleased with that. I think it's awesome. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yes, Tutorial Slave, is your new project a period piece noir, or does my memory just... It's not noir. It is a period piece, so it takes place literally 100 years ago. 100 years ago. So I've had to... I got a whole stack of older cars, and it's just fun to, first of all, have them around me, to look at them and use them as reference, and it's fun. The beauty of the design around the tires in particular, there was something about that. They made use of it all. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Hamlet Burger. Toby Maguire, Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield. Completely missed his name. Andrew Garfield. Okay, Toxic Dust. Yeah, the cough is going around. I caught mine yesterday. Yeah, I just got it right now. Mike Hunt. Hey, Mike, it's been a while. ZMMO23. Hi, I've just learned about you recently after researching a lot of Robert Spencer's work. Your takes on Islam are very refreshing, coming from an ex-Muslim American myself. Keep speaking the truth. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, man. Robert is the man. Robert is my hero. Robert is, you look at Frank Warner, Pigman, his Secret Identity. That's Robert. He's enhanced. He's, a big guy. But that's Robert. That part of Pigman is Robert. He's the truth teller of the Islamic enemy in a way that Robert is. Thanks, Cecil Ree. Hit the like button if you can. Shanth, my man Shanth from Our Money Bosch is the finest cartoons and comics. Look, man, I won't agree with that. You know, the competition is on Monday night. That competition is fierce. But I appreciate it, man. I love making caricatures, especially of the villains in this world that we live in. And there's a real caricature in this book that I'm doing, Shanth. It's I'm sticking to the description of the writer, and I at the same time I'm making my own. But it's basically it's that character come alive, and it's fun to draw it. Really fun. Random Random sorry, Random Mick Randerson. Bosh, your stream video and audio are so clear. You got to teach some of the other Comic guys how to do it. I don't know, man. Hey, Arthur Roy, how's it going, man? Hey, good to have you here. I don't know. I appreciate it. I don't know. I still see myself as new at this. I started doing this maybe last year on and off. I haven't been here for a few months. But I always enjoy it. And I'm going to be showing you updates and not just sending updates, which I will send. And again, if any of you are patrons at Patreon, Patreon has withheld my monthly payment. I don't know why. They said at first it was for email. I changed my email. I said, fine, we'll give you 5 days. It's been 10 days. So it wasn't that clearly. And no matter what I contact them, there's no phone number, there's no customer service. So I've been emailing them. And the response is, well, you got paid. And then, no, you will get paid. It's like, okay. So I asked my patrons if they want to switch from that to PayPal donations. It's better that way probably, but we'll see. I sent a wide email to everyone on my list, so maybe you guys have got it. It's just a pain in the ass. You expect a certain amount. I appreciate the hell out of your support, and I count on it. And that's not cool to just not have it. Rolling K 267 excellent connection disrupted on me jumping on YouTube. Okay, cool. Yeah, guys. So I just wanted to do a test stream here. Love seeing you guys on. Love being on the Kings, that weekly show. I mean, it's awesome. We have to step up every single week to make sure that we can compete. You got the best competition out there. I mean, flat out. Everyone there is writing and drawing their own comics, doing work that the mainstream just won't let them do. And by the way, check out Ethan's recent videos that he made in response to that Comicsgate video that the guy made. I love Ethan's response because it gives you an opportunity to recapture, to be reminded of why Comicsgate is Comicsgate. And it was really good. His responses to all that, setting it straight, and then also reminding people and himself why he does what he does. And it was never a fact where, even to this day, like, yeah, we want Marvel to change. Fuck Marvel and DC. To that extent, it's like we're long past that point. We're long past that point of thinking that they're going to be salvageable. If something happens, great. If it doesn't, hey, it is what it is. We love these characters. Right now, I'm rereading all the Spider-Man issues from the first run. My favorite runs are first of all, the Lee Ditko. Excuse me, the Lee Ditko run. That's Spider-Man. The pinnacle was issue 33. That is Spider-Man. If anything you want to know about Spider-Man, that's him. And then to me, the Roger Stern, John Romita Jr. run. That's the second one, the second best. Roger Stern's a great writer. John Romita Jr. to me, at his best on that run, probably the finest Spider-Man artist, the finest design. He took his follows design, stylized it a little further. Issue 246, if I remember correctly, that Dream issue, I thought it was fantastic. Anyway, thanks for being here, guys. Always appreciate it. I want to get back to regularly streaming and show you some updates on the actual pages here. Yeah, Rolling K, Patreon really needs to quit screwing. It's like, what the hell, man? I've never had this problem before from them. I've had little things here and there, but this is just, you have a certain supporter base and you expect to get paid, and it's always appreciated, but they just say, no, it's initiated but not completed. It's like, okay, but where does that leave me? You know, it's like I want their support. They supported, and therefore they're getting burned also on that. Um, I didn't see the Supergirl trailer yet, Rolly K. I'm waiting to watch it with someone. I'm waiting to watch it with someone. So I'm curious. Random uh, Random McRanderson says there was a movie, The Needle, very early in CG history. No needle was moved. Moved, yeah, moved, yeah, yeah, yes, yes. No needle was moved, indeed. And again, the only reason why they stopped the aggressive uh, destruction of these characters because it didn't work. You know, it just they were losing too much, and people were mocking him. And Ethan brought up that New Warriors thing, and he's of the mind that it was a complete snow job against Marvel. I don't know. That guy seems like a clown behind him. I don't know. I he's the guy who made Santa's husband. Remember that the black Santa with the white husband, and that's inspired me to make Muhammad's husband. It was a cartoon that I did, and I did a trading card as well. And I told the guy Kibblesmith, I said, "Hey, you inspired this. You know, can you share it or something?" Of course, you know, of course he won't. But let's say he is a satirist, right? He should have appreciated that. He should have. Um, Good to see you too, Crane style. Guys, thank you very much for being here. I'm gonna check out. I just wanted to pop in, test the waters. If the sound is good, show you a little update, tell you about a little update, and I really appreciate you guys being here as always. I'm gonna start to do regular streams like I used to. Show some art, and again, show some updates on the Pigman. Um, Random McRanderson, with the shift to movies as the moneymakers, the comic book houses have to sell themselves as the house of idea generation, but all the ideas they couldn't sell. I mean, it's true. They blew it. They had an audience, and then they alienated the audience. And why would you do that? It's like the rats on the right now, if you want to call them the right, even though I don't like Tucker Carlson, right? Going to Qatar, buying a home there, and when he's asked why, because I'm an American. It's like, that's why you're going to Qatar, to a hellhole, to a anti-free country, to a dictatorship, to a slave state, to a a hellhole that supports terrorism, jihad. That's why you're buying a home there. And then you got Candace Owens whoring it up like no whore has ever been in media before, lying to her audience. By the way, if the French assassins are after you, you don't go to Christmas parties and you don't travel around. You just don't do that. Absolutely random. Mick Randerson, Tucker Carlson, a piece of shit. Anyway, so and then you got dummy um, Steven Crowder. His standard was for guests was so long as they don't call for the deaths of others, I'll have them on. Like I won't have on Hassan Piker because he calls for. It's like, okay, but Nick Fuentes calls for death of others. He says he wants to exterminate. He wants to what do you say? Obliterate, annihilate Jews. When he gets power, when we get power, we're going to annihilate them. He was talking about Jews, and I know people pretended that he didn't say it. He did say that. Loves Hitler. He's on Team Hitler. All this, and then the dumb fuck Crowder, who I've had to I've had to end my subscription. I did. He held on for a while, but he succumbed to all the same bullshit that Matt Walsh and that whore Megyn Kelly has. I'll get into politics here, guys. But he said, "Are you an anti-Semite?" And the anti-Semite said, "No." He goes, "Okay, that clears that up." That's a lie. It's just a lie. Anyway, hey, Eric Hutfless, right? Hutfless. Thanks for always being there on Ethan's streams on the Kings. I really appreciate it, man. Always do, and especially sharing my stuff. I gotta say personally, thank you very much, man. You're very, very, very good with that. Comics here, the supporters are incredible. Thanks a lot, guys. Rogue Disciple says because he's an unprincipled hack that hates America. He does. He's a nihilist. You don't have communists on your show and Muslims on your show and don't challenge them. He had a pig from the UN the old day who accused America of genocide, and piece of shit Tucker Carlson just sat there, didn't say a word. They're accusing your good country of genocide, and you're going to sit there and take it? Hey, man, he belongs in Qatar. When you go there, just stay there, bitch. Just stay there. You belong there. And it's inevitable to me that he's gonna submit to Islam. It's like it's inevitable. He goes to Qatar. What churches can he go to anyway, right? Um, Random McRanderson said, I think he's been bought by Qatar, Pakistan. Yeah, he has. His company, his network. What network is it, guys? The Tucker Carlson network. He's on X and he's on YouTube. What network is he on? I mean, honestly, come on. Um, Eric Hotful's right. Tucker turned into such a disappointment. Yeah, he sucks, man. Yeah, talks to Dust 13. He frequents Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar, and think about this also, guys. Those who are still on the fence about Tucker, maybe you like him. He only goes to the richest of rich Muslim countries, guys. I mean, what does that say? He only goes to the richest, the filthiest rich of the Muslim countries. Absolutely, Random McRanson. Crowder is a little too addicted to attention over ethics, 100%. He had his choice there. He's the one who made that red line, and I called him on it repeatedly, and he actually responded to me on one of his shows because I was going at it with Toolman, also Gerald, and they said, yeah, there was one guy, and they spent about 15, 20 minutes talking about it, and it sucked. Their answers sucked, and it's like, you set the standard. You said you won't have people on who call for the death of others. Nick Fuentes does. What's the difference? I think he has a crush on Nick Fuentes. I think he does. I think him, as I said to him, I tagged him. I said, I guess your love name is Stevie Nicks. Steven Crowder and Nick Fuentes, right? Toxic Dust. It's really ugly. Look into it. What fucker Carlson has been doing, it's really ugly. He's defending communists. He's hasn't said one bad word about Islam outside of Fox. Fox, think about it, guys. He was on PBS. He was on MSNBC, on CNN, right? For years, right? Controlled opposition, right? And then he goes to Fox and becomes a little more quote unquote right wing whack because of the producers and the writers were more right wing, you know. So then when he leaves, now all of a sudden he's pro-Islam and anti-American and pro-Moscow. Come on. Mike Hunt says, Mem Downey said that. Said what, Mike? Cecil Reese said, didn't Ashton Beardy say that Tucker Carlson was a swimmer? I don't know what that means. Tutorial Slaves, the Crowder was always just a failed comedian and activator. This is true. He's not as funny as he thinks. He's not a stand-up comedian, even though he says he is. He's not. And he's angry. He's a very hostile guy, if you notice. Underneath all that alleged comedy, there's a hostility there. And I was able to tolerate him because he was good on Tucker Carlson. He was good on Candace Owens. And then I figure, okay, he'll be good on... No, he wasn't. He was terrible. And not only did he have him, did he publicize Fuentes the way Carlson did, he's defending him now online. It's like, damn. Your crush is a little deeper than I thought. Rachel Brinkley. Hi, everyone. Roland Case. I've been friends with a guy I've known for 9 years. He's a fanboy of Fuentes and Andrew Tate. I've debated him multiple times, and last time he denied the Holocaust. I'm ready to end the friendship. I mean, that's a thing. There's a certain, my experience is Holocaust deniers. They deny the Holocaust. They celebrate the Holocaust, they threaten a new Holocaust, and then they call a non-Holocaust a Holocaust, like the Gaza quote-unquote genocide. It's disgusting. And then Sean Hollywood says, what's your view on Fuentes? Nothing. I think he's a piece of shit. I don't think he should be platformed by anyone here. And again, I'm not telling you don't listen to him. People say, don't tell me to listen. You can listen to any piece of shit you want to. I don't give a shit. Just be honest about who he is. Don't lie to us. Don't be Crowder and say, are you an anti-Semite? No. Okay, that clears that up. That's a loser right there. Cecil Reed, I was very confused why being a swimmer was bad. Random McRanderson, it's not a crush. Pretty sure Crowder is clout chasing Fuentes at this point. Yeah, I'm just mocking him about it, as in that's a little boyfriend now, you know. And you got a little fruit there. It's 27 years old, 27-year-old virgin. Come on, guys, that's normal. That's normal. He hates women. 27-year-old virgin talks about it. Tells people don't hook up with women. They suck. It's like what the fuck do you know? You don't know shit. You never had a girlfriend. Um, Talks Ducks 13. So do you think Alex Jones is also a piece of shit? Well, he's a propagandist. He's a conspiracy theorist. He's a big mouth. He's a moneymaker. He's not a truth teller. None of these rats are. None of them. You got Dana Loesch, to me, more balls than any of them, all put together. On the First Amendment, on the Second Amendment, on truth, on character. She's friends with Tucker, and she called him out. You know, she doesn't care. The dumb fuck Matt Walsh completely annihilated his own reputation, whatever it was, by saying no, I won't hit against the right, only the left. And then what did he do? He proceeded to go against everyone on the right who called him out for not calling out the rats, the leftists on the right. Rachel Brinkley says Ukraine-Russian war is the first one to have real live updates and streaming updates. Face blue, wide eyes. Yeah. Random McRanderson says, I used to like the Crowder show, but he has fallen quite a bit in the last few years. He has. He definitely has. I just like the fact that at least one of them was honest about these major issues, honest about, Israel versus its enemies. It's like you got a civilized country and you have savages. To me, it's simple. I don't give a fuck what arguments you have against Netanyahu, whatever, but the fundamental thing is you have a civilized people and you have savages. That's it. That's it. I don't want to hear anything else about that. You don't go into a country and rape and mass murder over 1,000 people and then not pay a price for it. That's the price you pay. And then you do that and cry genocide. It's a lie. Mike Hunt says Crowder also dressed as the Prophet Muhammad made people. Yeah, it was fun, and he drew Muhammad as well. I don't know if he actually drew him, but he was doing like a Bob Ross thing. Again, much respect to him. He was better than the rest. And now he's just the same shit as all of them. And again, I've lost respect for him, called him out. And again, he did respond on his show. They didn't name me, but they were, responding to my criticism because I was the only one who made it, which is wild to me. I was the only one who made that criticism that they answered to because, again, if your red line is that you establish is that you don't have guests on who call for the death of others, then you can't have on someone who calls for the death of others. And meaning you said that. I just called you on it. Rogue Disciple says, or Tucker is admitting that he'll say whatever his benefactors pay him to say. There's that. He's a whore. He's always been a media whore, though, for 30 years. It's like him and Piers Morgan. It's the same shit. Go left, go right, go up, go down. It doesn't matter. They're whores. Toxic Dust 13. I can't stand Nick Fuentes. I'd like to hear more of that, Toxic Dust. I don't hear that enough. I think, people say, oh, he's cool. No, he isn't. He's a piece of shit. He's a little snake. He's 5'6", 140 pounds. He's a virgin. He hates Jews. He hates America. Hates Trump. Never voted for Trump. Never. Voted against him. Told people to vote for Kamala. Him and his boys, they're impotent though. He said, we're going to go and try to change it. You can't change shit. You have, Charlie Kirk and you have Nick Fuentes. This is a different universe here. Of quality of a human being, Roland K agreed. Listening to Fuentes is one thing. His fans go beyond that. They let him do their thinking for them. Yep. Random McRanderson says, I think people who can listen to Fuentes more than just to verify, yeah, this guy's neo-Nazi, have something wrong with them. Yep. That's the thing. It's like the guy has no value. First of all, I made a cartoon of him, right? And I had a balloon, an empty word balloon, say, here are the most profound things he's ever said. There's nothing he's ever said that is profound. Nothing. I mean, it's not an exaggeration. It's tired, old, 3,000-year-old shit of Jew hatred. And on top of the guys, he wants authoritarianism. He has explicitly stated this. And then, of course, when he gets cornered by some of these rats in media, oh, no. It's like, no, you actually said that. And not only once, repeatedly. And when you post on X that you're on Team Hitler, you're on Team Hitler. You don't take that back. And, let's see. Rachel Brinkley says, "Who are the civilized ones in Israel these days?" Face, and I don't know what you're saying. I guess you're against Israel. Who are the civilized ones? The people. The people are civilized compared to their neighbors. They're the most civilized in that entire area. You might be one of those who think the noble savage. Oof. Cecil Reed says Dana Loesch is amazing. Been watching her since I was like 13 in my 30s now, and she still holds up. She does. She's the one who really has held up. And I was on her show 10 years ago, right after I won the Muhammad Cartoon Contest, and she showed the cartoon. She's got balls. Again, she's got more balls than any of these men, from Walsh to Crowder and all these other, of course, to Fuentes, that little bitch. Blur says Tucker's trash. I unsubbed, yeah. Barb Rogers, Miss Solitaire says good ratio here, more likes than there are people watching. That's cool. Thanks. Rolling Case of the insane amount of evil I've seen from Islam bitches after 10/7 really pushed me to be vocal about Israel. I've been more involved with Jewish organizations, and I'm going to IAC in Florida soon. Very, very cool. That's the thing. You got a civilized country that deserves the civilized world support, and we didn't give it to them. When I say we, I mean the collective. We didn't give it to them. We said basically, yeah, your people can die, and just don't do anything about it. And if you do, we're going to call you genociders. That's evil. They have the right to obliterate Hamas, obliterate them. Toxic Dust 13 says, I don't get the whole Nick Fuentes thing. It's not a thing. And also, it is boosted by a lot of bots, a lot of rats, a lot of fake, and he does have his own crowd. He definitely does, but it's boosted by bad actors who are liars from overseas. And a lot of the gropers who are coming after me, I checked their countries. A lot of them are overseas, Pakistan, India, and so on. Let's see, one second. Blur says, yeah, he's basically National Socialist German style. Yeah, he is. And again, he called literally for to team up with the left. Fuentes did. So I don't understand. I don't buy anyone on the right actually liking him. He's a leftist. He's National Socialist. He wants authoritarianism. That's what Hitler was, and that's what he's on Team Hitler. I think Hitler's really cool. That little shit voice of his. He's a tiny guy behind a desk. The guy never goes out. He's secluded. He's an incel. He really is. He's that little thing that the left has tried to turn the right in, and now the right is platforming him like retards. It's like, dummy. They smeared the right by calling him Hitler for decades, and now you're going to promote a guy who loves Hitler, who's a leftist, and call him on the right? Sick stuff. And also, this idea. Yeah, he was deplatformed. Yeah, so then you're going to platform him because he was deplatformed? Big shit. I was deplatformed. Where were you to support me on that? I've lost over 20,000 followers across, platforms. Transaction companies knocked me out. I had to fight to get back on some of them because I need to make some kind of money here. Rolling Case of Hillel at Wayne State University brings guest speakers to talk about Israel. I was invited to Israel twice to talk about free speech and to draw Muhammad in the middle of my speech, as I've done at a university. It fell through. Latest, I got another offer. We'll see how it goes. I hope it goes. Random McRanderson says he's still just a Nazi loser, but with Tucker's publicity, he is now a topic of discussion amongst people. That was the whole point, like Matt Walsh. That was the whole point that Tucker did that. Tucker's a nihilist. He wants to fuck shit up on the right. He wakes up in the morning, how can I fuck shit up today? And he's doing his amount of damage, but there's only so much you can be a rat bastard and just keep getting away with it without any kind of price to pay. That whore Candace is starting to get her payback right now. Starting to get her little comeuppance, but a little late there, Tim Pool. A little late there, Christopher Rufo. A little late there. I've been going after her for years. There was 4 or 5 years ago when she first joined the Daily Wire, if you remember. Her coming out party, she was walking down this runway like a model. It's like, you're not that pretty. You're not a model pretty. And you're not that smart. And she was a leftist who worked for Al Sharpton. She was, doxing conservatives. That was her thing. 9 years ago. This is who she is. And she was like, shit. And then there was some infraction that she did, and the left didn't like her. So she goes, oh, shit, I can make some more money on the right. They got more money. And it worked. And now she's back to being a leftist, as is Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson was buddies with Rachel Maddow. He's buddies with Biden's son. These are, and he called himself an elitist years ago on record. It's like, yeah, you're a snob, rich kid. Man, Blur, I'm tired of the new influence. I want Rush Limbaugh. I know Rush would never tolerate this. Would never have had, Fuentes on. It would have been an obscene thing to have seen Rush do that. Never, ever. It seems like the hall monitors, the way they see them, Rush, Charlie Kirk, right? That they're gone. Now there's running wild, these rats. Rats are running wild. Toxic Dust 13 says, Alex Jones loves to promote Fuentes. I can't stand it. Yeah. Well, they're both pieces of shit, so it works. And Alex Jones, it goes from 10 things, right? There's a jihad. It's like, yeah, bitch. I've been talking about that for 20 years. Yeah, and then Israel's a genocider and they support Hamas. Like, what are you talking about? Go do some more of your pills, please. Take some more pills, bro. Mike Hunt says, nah, that ain't true. Fuentes has been around for years. I don't know what you're referring to. That bitch has been around for about a decade. But big shit. What about him? Same shit then, same shit now. So, Tutorial Slave says, we've been encountering quite a few of those noble savages over here in Germany these days. Jesus, it's bad, man. I think Germany is making itself pay for World War II, And think about this also. To make themselves pay, they brought in Hitler lovers, masses and masses of Hitler lovers and Muslims. Pretty sick, huh? They want to prove that they're not Hitler and they bring in Hitler lovers. It's like, that's retarded. Rachel Brinkley says, I am anti-religion from growing up under a family of Roman Catholics and seeing the BS in it all. Yeah, well, I was raised Muslim. Got out of it as well. But I don't go after religion per se. I reject all religion. I reject all faith, but I don't go after religion if they don't come after me. That's just a fact. I mean, if they don't come after us, we have one religion gunning for all of us. Eric Hutful says, that video Ethan showed with Fuentes didn't convince me to like him any, and I'm not a fan of Piers. That Nick guy sounded like an idiot. I don't know what you're referring to. Ethan's sharing a Fuentes clip. He is an idiot, Fuentes, but I just don't know if Ethan did it on his own show or X. I'm not sure. I know that some of the guys on the right will pretend that he's worth talking about. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing. And that's why some of the kings sometimes when I bring up certain people, I'm like, that piece of shit, and you hear the little uncomfortable. It's like, these guys are pieces of shit. We shouldn't take them seriously at all. Blur mentioned Rush Limbaugh again. I mean, that was the kind of voice you wanted and needed to hear. Honest, sophisticated, know his stuff, knew that the left was evil, was willing to call out the Islamic enemy, was willing even to promote Ayn Rand in this way. If you recall, when younger callers called him to Rush, what can I do, Rush? What can I do, right? Rush said, read Ayn Rand. Read Atlas Shrugged. He didn't say read the Bible. He didn't say read the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence. Not that they shouldn't, but the point is, he said read Atlas Shrugged over and over again. That's something that very few conservatives will admit. Like a dummy. Ben Shapiro was very good when he took on the others, all the three rats, the big king rats, the leftist rats on the right, from Tucker Carlson to Candace Owens to Nick Fuentes, when he basically buried them by their own words. That was very good. But then he'll call Ayn Rand's philosophy garbage. I said, well, you guys are supposedly adapting this garbage. Why? In the Daily Wire movie, allegedly. I don't know. And then he also said, he mocked those who couldn't get the vax. He called them idiots, which is terrible. But then he's good about that. But anyway. Blur says Rush Limbaugh was the best before influencer was a thing. He was. Mike Hunt says, didn't Fuentes America First have more than CPAC one year? Have more? I don't know. I doubt it. More than CPAC? Come on, Mike Hunt. I think you're Australian anyway. Come on. Get it right. More than CPAC? No. There's not that many dumb fucks he can get into a room. And his whole room is kill the Jews. Like, okay, that's new. Tired old shit. Rolling K says, I mentioned you a few times to Hillel as a potential guest. Out of curiosity, if I can convince them, would you agree to give a speech about Israel, either through Zoom or if they fly you in? I've done a handful of interviews recently. I'm always willing to talk about it. I'm always willing to support the civilized groups against our enemies, and that's the whole that's the whole thing. It's like they represent us, they represent the West in that hellhole. Us to not support them, we're not supporting ourselves. We're not supporting what means to be civilized people. To side against them is to side with the savages who want us dead also. You think Hamas just wants Israel wiped out? They want America wiped out. They have killed Americans. And Mr. America First, Tucker Carlson, doesn't give a fuck. He'll go meet with alleged victims of Gaza, who are at the hands of Hamas the old day, in Qatar. He'll say about Saudi Arabia, I can't wait to go there, before he went there and he ended up going there. He goes, it's the future. Saudi Arabia, guys. The hellhole of Saudi Arabia is the future, according to dumb fuck whore, Islam whore, Tucker Carlson. We'll see, Rolling K. I don't know. I gotta say, I'm a little worried about going places because sometimes I get invited. They say that they can have security and they don't have security. That's unacceptable. I mean, I want to tell the truth, but I also want some security, some backup. The first speech I ever did, I was flanked by 2 guards, armed guards, left and right. That's a little more comfortable, where I can tell the truth. I mean, publicly on a public place, and people know I'm going to be there. They can try to take me out. So, Mike Hunt, yeah, he was debanked. Yes, a lot of people were debanked. So therefore, we have to promote him. I know you're a little twisted with certain things, Mike. You probably like him. You're probably a fanboy of Fuentes. I can't say for sure, but it sounds like you're defending him, which some do. Also, an assassin came to his house. No, it wasn't. It wasn't an assassin. It was an annoying bitch, a leftist. It wasn't an assassin. Come on, man. Get it right. I mean, come on. Mike, please. Don't be a cunt, Mike. Mike, cunt. Talks to Dust 13. I guess you have to be a fake piece of shit to get that kind of publicity and push. Yeah, I think so. That's funny you say that because people are always like, they contact me. Hey, man, why don't you get on these shows? I said, ask them. I'd love to get more spotlight on my work and tell the truth, and I'd love to do that. I'd love to show my work. I'd love to talk about Islam and stuff, to tell the truth, the forbidden truths. It's still forbidden, which is sick. Even a guy like James Lindsay, who's morally correct on this issue of the Glory Brewers and Fuentes and Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson and Matt Walsh and all these rats, right? But still, the old day, try to push us. Come on, guys. Islamism is like, fuck that, man. And again, I've had my runs with him, but he shares my stuff. He's a wide audience, but he's a mixed bag. He's very liberal, and I think he thinks liberalism is the answer. When I told him, I said, liberalism has been subsumed by the left. American liberalism, it's been subsumed. It's been wiped out. It wasn't strong enough to withstand the push that the left gave it. That means it's not worthy of standing up to anything. It can't stand up to communism. It can't stand up to Islam. It's like the French. That embodies that entire thing about the liberalism, right? They were taken over by the Nazis. They will be taken over by Muslims. There's nothing there within them to fight them. The tolerance is suicidal. Democrat Buster, hey man, glad to see you, man. Honestly, I hate to agree with Nick, but he is right about Candace. Who cares? And again, it's only a front, Democrat Buster. He's not being right about Candace. He wants to distinguish himself. Like, I'm better than them. See, guys, I'm telling some truth at times. I lie a lot, but I'm telling some truth at times. So what? Who gives a shit? She had him on. She was boosting him, Who cares? They're all rats. All 3 of them, They're the big rats. And then you have the apologist rats like Megyn Kelly and Matt Walsh and Crowder. Roland K says, the fact that these retards are platforming him for more than you, yeah, it pisses me off. You deserve 1 million subscribers. You've earned support. All you do is tell the truth. I appreciate it, Roland K. Thank you very much, man. It's very kind. I get that from people, and I always appreciate the hell out of it. Any support that I get. It's tough. I mean, you tell the truth about things that you can get killed for. These guys don't do that. Think about this. Guys, be honest here. Mike Hunt, the fanboy of Fuentes, and others, okay? Be honest. Does Nick Fuentes say any real forbidden truths? Does he speak any? Don't tell me he speaks about Jews. Who the fuck doesn't? Who doesn't smear Jews? Billions of people do. Billions of Muslims and all others. Who gives a shit? It's tired old hatred. It's old. It's nothing new. These guys are drawing Moses, the equivalent of drawing Moses and want to be cheered for it. Draw Muhammad. Have an episode against Islam. Nick Fuentes. Let's see how many gorpers they stick with you. Let's see Tucker Carlson tell the truth. Guys, if Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and Nick Fuentes were to tell the truth on their podcast for one episode, their audience would abandon them. They're like, what the fuck happened to you? They wouldn't recognize them. It's not an exaggeration. They wouldn't recognize them if they told the truth. That's how much they lie. That's how much they lie. When, dumb fuck Crowder says, are you an anti-Semite? No. Okay. That's a lie. Even his boys are probably like, they're snickering because they don't care about the truth. The truth is not there for them. They place so many things above the truth. Toxic Dust 13 said, I see this now with Tucker and Jones. Thanks, man. I'll look more into them. Cecil Reese says, Nick Fuentes and you can just Owens' husband are both gay. There's video of Candace Owens' husband pawing at another man and flirting with him, and Nick Fuentes has a thing for femme cat boys. Yeah, they do. There's something very fruity about Nick Fuentes. Very fruity. He's not masculine. Again, he's 5'6", 140 pounds, small guy, high pitched voice. I'm a big fan of Stalin. Yeah, bitch, you're a big fan of a dictator who would do you in, or do you? Maybe that's what you want. Terrible. Toxic Dust 13. I feel really bad for Europe and parts of our country. I know. Europe has bent over, has bent over. It's disgusting. Eric Huffle. Okay, Ethan shared a Fuentes debate on Piers Morgan's show on Hard Art Shine's channel yesterday. Okay, I don't care. I just don't think that guy is worth any time that we give him at all. He should stick to his gorpers and lie and do whatever he wants to and make that grift. Because it is a grift. And again, if you bite your tongue about Islam, you're a pussy. What's happening in this world, 150, 200 people murdered every week, 2,050 a few weeks ago, in 1 week. If you can't talk about that, you're a pussy. That's what you are. And you're not a truth teller. Okay. I didn't watch the Hard R. I watch very few things these days. I did watch Ethan's show about that guy, though, who tried to break down Comicsgate, which was not well because he repeated a number of smears and lies, which is not good. And whether it's devious or not, we'll see. Barb Rogers says there's worse people than Nick Fuentes, like Hassan Parker. Yeah, Barb, but we're not going there. Like, who's worse? They're all pieces of shit, Barb. They all are. They're all liars. They're all cheats. They're all grifters. And worse between them? How? They both hate Jews. They both are soft against Islam. Hassan, because he's a communist Muslim. He calls for death of others. Nick Fuentes calls for death of others. They treat women like shit. They think nothing of women. So I don't buy that. And also, when we get to the point where who's worse? Come on. We need good people out there. And the one thing about all these rats falling like flies, except for Dana Loesch and some others, a handful, is that it's an opening for decent, honest people to come in. We need them. We can't have Benny Johnsons out there, a suck up to Tucker, who probably go to Qatar next. Theo Vaughn, an actual retard with a mullet, having Tucker on. Why does Tucker go on Theo Vaughn? Why doesn't he go on, let's say, a good show, a decent show? Because he knows he has to roll over these hosts. So yeah, Barb, worse people, yeah, sure. They're both pieces of shit. I can't tell a difference, a fundamental difference. Meaning, they talk about what's the difference between China and Iran. It's not. They're both anti-individual rights. They're both anti-freedom. They're both bad. One's better than the other. Who gives a shit? Technically speaking, so what? They're both bad. Toxic Dust 13. What do you think of Michael Savage? If you've listened to him at all, I used to listen to Michael Savage years ago. I liked the hard edge about it. I liked the fact that he was willing to say some stuff that maybe Rush and Sean Hannity and some others weren't willing to say. I think he had his day, really. I've seen some clips recently. I don't know. He'll criticize Tucker, and then Tucker will say something good about him, and like, oh, okay. It's like, oh, okay, what? Because he said something good about you? Who gives a shit? So yeah, he was good. I liked some aspects of Savage at times years ago. Haven't heard him in a while though. Rachel Brinkley says, if the smartest were to leave westernized societies, where would they? From Atlantis, yeah, that's right. Go to Atlantis. Barb Rogers, bacon in the chat. Rogue Disciple, he's never been a smart man. Don't know who you're referring to, sorry. Cade Stringer 2.0, 2.0. Tucker's a dumbass, and I'm glad Laura Loomer is going after him. Absolutely. Laura Loomer is like, I don't give a shit what you think about her. She's the kind of mad dog that the enemy deserves. She is relentless. She goes after him in a way that almost no one does. I like that. I like that a lot. And she will have some grace up until a certain point, and then it's over. Hamilton Berg says, one can oppose cancellation and debunking people like Nick Fuentes without supporting a platform. Exactly. That's a simple little thing right there, and it has to be restated clearly. It's like, yeah, that's not good that but this is the factor here. You can say what you want, but once you start talking about killing others and annihilating them, and they're giving them the death penalty for being Jews, guys, that crosses the line. Any company has a moral right to say, fuck you, and we're not going to platform that. Any company does. And to overlook that because you think it's the momentary thing, like he's quote unquote hot right now. First of all, he's been around for a while. He's a big mouth. Tucker's trying to make him happen. Notice one thing also, guys. You see all these losers that Tucker has on his show, he's trying to make him happen? Which one has happened? Has Daryl Cooper happened? Daryl Cooper is a Nazi with a slight little mask. He says in his own papers, in his own hidden comments, from years ago, that it's a slow process. It's a slow process, but eventually that's where we want to go. To Nazism, National Socialism. They're all leftists, guys. It's not just a term that they try to, people say, well, Nazis call themselves, they call themselves the socialists in order to smear socialism. No, because they fucking were. They were anti-individual rights. Hitler went to the point where he tried to prove that he was more socialist than other socialists by saying, we don't just socialize banks and stuff. We socialize human beings. We want to socialize human beings. Do you understand? Mike Hunt says, you didn't see that. The guy in the motorcycle helmet, he came to shoot Nick. No, that would have been bigger news, Mike. Nope. I would have heard that one. I think there's a lot of bullshit. Like, again, is it like the French assassins after Candace Owens, who's now gallivanting around when she has French assassins allegedly over her? Please, give me a break. I have seen Candace Owens' schizophrenic meltdown. Happy Funhouse. Hey, Happy Funhouse. Happy's Funhouse. How you doing? Rolling Case says, we always have a security guard outside the room at Hillel and Wayne State University. When we had Charlotte Korchak, they had 2 guards outside the room, so Hillel had been careful so far. That's good. That's good to know. Because one guy promised security, and it's like, when I got there, it's like, no security? What the hell? You got 3 Muslims there listening to my debate. I'll draw Muhammad in the middle of the speech. It can get ugly. It can get ugly. I'd rather that be neutralized. I got into an argument with them, but that was about it. And I told them, they said, you were never Muslim. I said, I was, but you guys aren't Muslim now. How's that? I said, you should be on stage trying to cut my head off after I drew Muhammad in front of you. It has been shifted over. Barb Rogers, the overtime window has been shifted hard. It's true. Yeah, the cop shot him in the alley by his house. No. Mike, I may be watching too much Alex Jones. Give me a break, man. Give me a break. And then also, the Mexican Fuentes, says in one thing, I'm a Mexican. I'm not white supremacist. I'm a Mexican, right? He'll say on one episode, he'll say that this genocide in Gaza, and the next episode, these pieces of shit Palestinians, who gives a shit? So, yeah, I'm not going to hear that for the first time here. Mike, you're always suspect anyway, so I think you're one of those closet, gropers probably. You just, whatever. Don't spread that shit here. Well, what you've seen, Mike, yeah. Then why hasn't it been advertised? Why hasn't all of the guys who interviewed him brought that up? I mean, I don't have to always bring up, but I was at an event that was attacked by jihadists and they got their heads blown off. That's a real thing. And that's a news story, international news story. I get thousands of death threats. This is real. Who's going to go and kill Fuentes? What, leftists? He is a leftist. Right wingers? No. Some of them like him, even though they're on the left. Happy Fun House, Pigman #1 is coming along. I had a little detour. I had to do some finished work for my new project. But as I said, I'm going to start streaming again. I'm going to show you some updates instead of just tell you in emails. So thanks for asking. Definitely will a show on that. Toxic Dust 13, the liberals have been taken over a long time ago by the communists, and they're waiting with open arms for Muslims, 100%. That's why the answer is not liberalism. Again, it's a fanciful idea that liberalism is going to be the answer. It was subsumed by communism, by leftism. It wasn't strong enough to withstand it. It's the Achilles heel within it cannot last. They can't bring themselves to fight off evil. It is what it is. Rolling case, if Hillel actually flies you in, that'd be great. I'll buy you a lunch afterwards. Hey, I would love to. I'm just a little cautious these days about where I go and what happens, I gotta say. But I'll be happy to. We will definitely see. I just gotta find out, the details about it. Mike Hunt says, I'm more concerned about Australia anyway. There's things happening here I can't even talk about without being arrested. Man, I keep hearing about the UK and other countries. It's unreal to me that people are going to jail by the thousands in alleged civilized countries. I don't know. I don't know what to say, man. Oh my God, it's a criminal. It's like the old day. There was, someone was arrested and put in jail for a post on X, and Elon says that's really messed up. It's like, no, it's not. It's more than really messed up, Elon. This is a criminal government. They're criminals. It's not just really messed up. It's a criminal government arresting citizens for free speech. Unacceptable. Barb Rogers says, I can't stand Nick seriously for my own reasons. I know. But the point is, Barb, we shouldn't get in this like, well, which piece of shit is worse? It's like, they're both pieces of shit. Okay? It's like, when leftists try to sell this idea, communists hated Nazis. Nazis hated communists. They were fucking butt buddies. Stalin, Hitler were butt buddies, okay? Until they turn on the other. Why? Because they want to be the boss. They want to be in charge. It's like the Sunni Muslims and the Shiite Muslims. Same shit. But they will kill each other to prove that they're the real deal. Just as Nazis and the communists did. They're socialists, all of them. But they're like, our socialism is better. It's more pure. That's why they, quote unquote, hate each other. It's not an actual hate against their ideas. They're pro-totalitarian. They're anti-individualist, anti-capitalist. They're pro-gun control. These are all the same shit. Random Mick Randerson says, Crowder's softballing Fuentes was a major eye-opener about Crowder. 100% random. That's, to me, that was a moment I had to unsubscribe the premium. I cannot even watch. I saw some clips. I'm done. There's nothing more he has to say that interests me. It's like, you already sold out, bitch. And you never had to. And this idea, right? Also, they lost their integrity. They never had integrity. My experience, people with integrity retain it until the day they die. Actual integrity is what I'm talking about. There's a character in The Fountainhead, I won't even say it, but he hunts down those who presume to have integrity, right? And he destroys them. Why? To prove there's no such thing as integrity. Meaning, if they had integrity, they couldn't be destroyed. That's what he has. Now, of course, he comes across a man with integrity and, something happens. But the point is that men and women of integrity wouldn't have that on. They wouldn't do that. With actual integrity, they die with it. They take it to their grave. Rolling case of my new friend Samantha hates Islam as much as I do. I never met a woman like her. I think I'm in love. That's awesome. It's so funny. This is nothing like the greatest aphrodisiac. The greatest thing I think is just, honest woman. Looks, sure, all that, but there's something about hearing the truth from women, especially attractive women. There's something so damn sexy about that. Their willingness to tell the truth, no matter what it is. That is sexy. Random McAnderson says Piers Morgan is a clickbait. He is. He's a piece of shit. He's such a snake. He's a clickbait hack. He puts on people who nobody should care about, and his debates are stupid. Yeah, look, he's a whore with zero principles. He's a fucking slug. You know, he's Tucker Carlson of the UK. He's really. Having Rabbi Shmuley, the sex toy seller, debate Jake Shields, a brain damaged neo-Nazi. Nobody should care about that. 100%. The guy, they're both retarded. It's like, oof. Barb Rogers says Islam is a fake religion created by the redacted. Yeah, I mean, well, all religions are technically fake. I mean, they're all created by individuals, you know. It depends. You know, people say, well, he's a fake prophet. I think all prophets are. I think they all sold something that just wasn't. You know, every single last one. I am the Son of God, or even if he didn't say that, I am this. I spoke with God. And the Ten Commandments, like, come on. But my concern is that which ones are the most dangerous? Which ones are coming after us? That's my concern. I reject them all. But I will not, you know, I have Christian friends, Jewish friends. I don't condemn them for their religions. I judge them objectively if they're good human beings or not. I don't judge people who believe in God or don't believe in God. Again, they're a great atheist, they're a piece of shit religionist, and piece of shit atheists and good religionists. You know, Mike Hunt says he's talking about race war stuff, doesn't believe in a political solution. You talking about Fuentes, or because he does talk about that? Again, there's nothing positive that Fuentes says. He's a guy who farts every day on air. He throws shit at the wall. He's just a guy who lives online. You know, he's not living in a real world. He's not. And also, there's something obscene and deviant about guys in their 60s, like even in their 70s, like Bannon, glazing Nick Fuentes. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? The guy's a little punk. What does he have? What wisdom does he have to offer you? You're 50 years older than him. What the fuck is this? I mean, it's obscene. Okay, Barb. I have yet to see Nick Shaka's dog, though. There is that. There is that. You're right about that. I will agree with that. It's very funny. Fucking Hassan Piker shocking his dog and then denying it like a lying rat. But to me, they're both scum. But yeah, in that aspect, he's worse than Nick Fuentes. That's hilarious. Very funny. Random Mick Randerson says, yeah, neo-Nazis talk a lot about that, Mike. It's their favorite topic. Yep. Richard Brinkley says, how many of you are in a slow, lonely wait for society to collapse? I know, man. It is demoralizing at times seeing those who should have stood up against evil, those who should have called out Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens early on, like Megyn Kelly, that whore, and Matt Walsh, piece of shit. In the moment of truth, they bent over for their friends, for their buddies. Like, those guys, you take the character of Charlie Kirk, whatever you think about him, look at his quality of character and look at them. Willing to support Israel, no matter the wave of rats who try to get him to rip away from Israel, right? And it's a lie what Candace says. He was ready to leave. He wasn't. The day he died, the day before he died, he had a conference with people talking about, I'm going to do a new tour. I'm going to Utah, the first place where he was killed at, and talking about, I'm going to be inundated with questions about Israel. I want to be armed. I know they deserve our support. I want to support them, but I'm also tired of people trying to accuse me of being anti-Semite if I don't completely, talk it up. And that is understandable. And believe me, it could be a little off at times to have that happen. I just got that's funny. Anyway, Mike Hunt, I think society collapsed about 100 years ago. It just took a little while to notice. It's demoralizing, man. It is at times, but what are you going to do? You keep going. You keep going. We are alive now. We can't say, well, okay, I'm going to pause my life and say, fuck it, society's dead, so I'm going to start to talk about the Jews and, and not have sex like Nick Fuentes. What? No, the guy has not experienced life in any serious way. Hamilton Berger says, I do see some covers that someone went to Nick Fuentes' house with a gun and ended up killing people across the street. If true, that was wrong, but shooting anyone for speech wrong. Yeah, I just, that would have been the top of a story. That would have been a major story. That would have been something that I think some of these people who were interviewing would have discussed. I don't know. I don't quite buy it because I'm in the loop. I know a lot of these things, and yeah, okay. Kate Stringer 2.0 says Tim Pool had a valid crash out. Yeah, he's been riding this wave a little, and now he's crashing against it. It's like, nah, you're a little late, bro. You are a few years late. I don't buy it. She's a cunt. It's like, that's not going to make up for 2-3 years of being silent on it. It's not. He's a media whore too. By the way, I was supposed to be on a show. His booker said, yeah, we'll have you on. I never heard back, unfortunately. I would have liked to have talked to him about, because he was calling out a comedian for not calling out Islam and also about John Muhammad. So I'm like, perfect. I'll let go on and talk about it. Let's explore that. Let's see how far we can go on Tim Pool. Can I draw Muhammad on the air and show it? I'd like to do that. Yeah, Kate Stringer 2.0 says, the Tim Pool had a valid crash out. He made good points. I feel bad for roasting him on X with my friend. I said he looked like a South Park character. I just hope he keeps calling her out. That's a thing, Kate Stringer. If you're a leader, you go out after her when it's not popular. Now it's popular to go after her. Now it's acceptable. I've been drawing that bitch for a few years, cartoons about her. I went after her 2020 when she had this embarrassing model runway walk entrance to Daily Wire. It was like, what the hell's going on here? Rogue Disciple says, did you hear that Walter Block got excommunicated by the Mises Institute for defending Israel? I wonder if anyone at ARI... I didn't hear about that. Interesting. For defending Israel. Jesus Christ. They've gone that low. Mises Institute. Happy's Funhouse says, not a fan of Fuentes, but Mike Hunt is right. There's body cam footage and everything. Okay. Just, don't you think, guys, that maybe Crowder, someone should have brought that up? Don't you think? And when was that? A few years ago? No one should. Look, the guy can yap all he wants, and people have the right to platform him or not. No one should kill him. But if he calls for the death of others, there's a price to pay for that. I'm not saying to be killed, but I'm talking about to be deplatformed. I would never have someone on my show, if I had one, who wants to kill others. They have left the conversation. They have left the conversation. It's over at that point. They're worthless. Worthless is as bad as Muslims. Chloro says, Chlorophyll 825, you should make comics for the next generation about a superhero that saved the world from Sharia and jihad. I'm not sure if you know about me, Chloro, but I write and draw a comic called Pigman that takes on Islamization, takes on Sharia law, takes on jihad, takes on Islamization of the West. Check it out. Toxic Dust 13 says, I remember the little fat chick knock on his door. I remember that, yes. I think you guys might be conflating something, because I do remember a leftist going up to his door and him spraying her, I think, with some mace, a little fruity on his part, but what are you going to do? He saw her as a threat. I don't know if she was a threat, to be honest. Justin Soto, this test stream is getting intense. Yeah. Mike Hunt says, John R. Lyons was the guy who came from Fuentes' house to shoot him if anyone's interested. Okay. Barb Rogers, I will protect you, Bob. Thanks, Barb. I'm not discounting it, Mike, but if it's common knowledge, why isn't it out there? I don't understand. Why isn't he talking about it? It's something worth talking about. I mean, you shouldn't do that. Doesn't deserve to be killed. Deserves to be condemned for calling for the death of others. Absolutely. Chlorophyll says the Roman Emperor Octavius was Albanian. All Muslims outside the Arab Peninsula are under occupation. It's true. I mean, Albania was forced into Islam. Well, most of the countries the 50+ countries that are Muslim or Muslim dominated were converted by force. Random McRanderson said the woman who got more jail time than her rapist for insulting her rapist on the internet. Jesus Christ, I remember that. Oh my God. We just can't go there. We can't. We have to put a stop to that. Travis Power. Hey, Travis. Do you think Trump will do anything about Dearborn, Michigan? It's sad because I like Trump. I voted for him. He's in bed with a fucking Qatar. He's in bed with jihad sponsors. How's it possible? He's in bed with jihad sponsors. How's that possible? I don't know. Why? You know, you got Trump on video. Islam's a problem. Muslims are a problem for years, and now he's hooking up with the Saudis and Qataris. Why? I don't know why. So I don't think he will. I think he should, Travis, but I don't think he will. You got some governors now, Texas and Florida, criminalizing Sharia law, criminalizing groups like CARE. That's good. It's like, I guess we have the 48 more to go, right? Rachel Brinkley says, by taking Bosch up north in the mountains, Canada has lots of space to hide. And I guess the icons don't come up here, Rachel. Sorry. Zionism is getting dangerous too, Rachel says. What does that mean, Rachel? It's a stupid line, a stupid idea. Zionism, the fact that people want a homeland for Jews. You got 50 plus homelands for Muslims, and you got one for Jews, and that's too much. Come on, getting dangerous. Ugh, so stupid. Dick Slayer, okay. I'm using my foreskin to play peekaboo. Okay, yeah, you're out. Just so stupid. What a waste. Rolling K, I agree. All religions are obviously untrue, but Islam has demonstrated itself to be the absolute worst. Yeah, there's no worse. That's why, people say, well, who's worse? I'm like, yeah, it's the worst. And then you got people trying to tell me, well, the other ones are worse because at least Islam's honest. First of all, religions cannot be honest. People can. What does that even mean? Honest about what? You have taqiyya, you have kitman, you have all these possibilities of ways to lie to non-Muslims about it. What do you mean honest? Happy's Funhouse, have you read Batman Deadpool? I haven't. I haven't. I like Greg Capullo. I saw some stuff. I like him, but I didn't care what I saw from the art. And I saw a little of Frank Miller's. Holy shit. Batman versus Old Man Logan. Dark Knight versus Old Man Logan. Horrific. Horrifically bad. Mikey Getz. How's it going, man? Yay, Bosch is back. I missed your streams, man. How's Pigman going? Pigman's going well, Mikey. I'm going to have some more streams. I'm going to show you the updates on screen and also in emails. Thanks for asking. I have been able to stream. I'm going to get back on regularly. I'm going to show you what the work is like. I don't want to show you too much because I want to have some stuff for their actual backers. Rachel says, COVID BS showed how weak my fellow Canadians, so I'm looking at how I can survive when Canada falls. Canada's in trouble. One thing about this idea when they say, well, most countries, when they try to compare America, there's never been a country like America, ever. We are the anomaly of the world, the anomaly of history. We are the greatest, most powerful country in the world, and we don't lord it over others, no matter what the rats like Dave Smith say. We don't. We don't. Yeah. There's the campaign's over, Barb. Random McGranderson says, love your work on and off Twitter, Bosch. I got to go to bed to wake up for work tomorrow. Hope to see you streaming more. Thanks a lot, Random. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the good commentary. Rachel, I kill things like meat and vegetable. Okay. He has more than just Pigman. Yeah, I do, Barb. And right now, I only have, I'm out of print for most of my books, for 5 books at least, but I have 2 books left. I have my first and second volume of Muhammad cartoons. I have my I have my Muhammad flip book, which Pigman does guest star in. You can go to boschwalson.com, check it out. You can order those. I have about a dozen copies each of the Muhammad cartoons, volume 1 and 2. And hopefully at one time there'll be interest. I can put all my books back in print, but we'll see. Travis Parrick says, I've got a good title for a one-shot or anthology of short stories entitled Pigman's Barbecue. Like it. I like it. It's very funny. Happy's Happy's Funhouse says the Fuentes thing happened December 2024. It's a different incident from the pepper spray leftist lady. I agree. More people should have asked him about it. Yeah, I think every single one should have asked him about it. Because once you cross the line to that kind of violence, it crosses the line. I mean, that's what we're talking about. His views on Israel, fuck him. Who gives a shit? His views on freedom and being hunted for it, meaning freedom of speech. The guy has the right to say whatever the fuck he wants. But again, once you call for the death of others, you have put yourself in a position where you are to be condemned. You should be, and it's illegal to call for the death of specific individuals, which is what he does, which is what Hassan Piker does as well. And that they're absolutely the same shit. Jimmy the Lumberjack, hey Jimmy, just got back from Old Man Hockey. Saw the email about Patreon is bullshit. It is, Jimmy. It sucks. And again, they've held it now for I've never had a stat before for 10 days. Like that's my money. People gave it to me. They want to support me, and they keep twisting it. Well, it'll be there in 5 days. It's been 10 days. It's because you changed your email. Okay, we give 5 days for that. Okay, where the fuck's my money? I do rely on this. Mike says, Scott, stay away from black people. Adams. Yeah. I know people are getting soft on him because he was horrifically bad on COVID, on the vaccine, horrifically bad. And when he got his ass kicked for it, meaning people say, what the hell are you talking about? Okay, I lost. You guys won. It's like, nah, it's not this game. It's a serious business here. And then, of course, he read a stupid poll, a dishonest poll. It wasn't actually legit about black people and violence. We know that the black community does explode into violence a little more than others in America. We know that. That's a fact. It's not racism. It's just a fact I pointed out. But the extent to which they said it, no, that was a lie. And he fell for it and said, stay away from black people. It's like, yeah, don't you have black friends, Scott? I do. Don't you? Be honest. There are good black people out there, and there are bad black people out there. Happens to be that, the crime rate is, they definitely do a lot more than others, but at the same time, it's not as bad as that poll that he was citing. And his thing was like, we got to go out, we just stay away from them. All black people, it's stupid. It's retarded. No problem, Mike. I got him. He was just stupid. Rolling K. Zionism has been very dangerous for terrorists. Absolutely, it's hilarious. Because someone said here, Zionism is becoming more dangerous. What the fuck's that mean? It's like Zionism is just basically the Jews have a right to live somewhere. That's it. You got 50 plus hellholes, Islamic hellholes. You can't have one Jewish state. Come on, and it's not even a religious state either. It's just it's a secular country. Clara says Trump is cleaning them up from their money before the hammer. Chloro. That's a nice thought, but I don't know. Texie 333. Bosch is back. Yes. Thanks, man. You need to give Geiger a go. I like Geiger. I love Gary Frank. He's one of the best today in comics. The only thing that kept me going through that Doomsday, whatever the fuck that was, I don't know what Jeff Johns was doing there, was the art. Absolutely stunning art. The guy is phenomenal, and he gets better and better and better. Look at him now. Look at the old Hulk issues. Look at the old Supergirl issues, and look at him now. Incredible. Incredible. Dave Disaster Smith, absolutely rogue disciple. He's terrible. I mean, terrible. Absolute hack. Pretends he knows his shit. He doesn't know shit. He's an idiot. Let me get a last few here. Yes, that's right, Taxi. Gary Frank is one of the best today, hands down. Fantastic artist. Check out his Instagram. He drew this one image of King Kong, right? It was so stunning. And then he says that it was rejected. It's like, who the fuck could reject this? It's incredible. Incredible. And yeah, Jeff Johns is usually good. That's why the Doomsday, I was like, he just shoehorned a gay character in there, an actor. I don't know what that was about. I don't know why he did that. Maybe a gay friend he's trying to pay tribute to him. Okay, that's fine. But did it have to be in there? It's just the same old shit. What's new? I think we're gayed out also. Enough of this stuff. It's like every character has to be every show has to have a gay character. Why? Why? Um, thanks, Jimmy. Again, appreciate it. Cloris, I must say the people here should focus less on Israel. Global jihad is advancing. It is. Again, guys, look at the religionofpeace.com every week. Hundreds killed every week. It's not comparable to any other religion. It's not comparable to any other group. It's the most deadly force. There's no stronger retrograde force in the world, as Winston Churchill said in 1899. There's no stronger retrograde force in the world. I had a good turnout here, guys. I really appreciate it, man. I just did a test stream and it turned to, wow, an hour and a half. I got to get going, man. I got some work to do. But I know, Mike. There was aspect of Scott Adams that I like as well. But to be that dead wrong about a major thing like COVID and the vaccines was horrific. To be that stupid about blacks was really stupid. I was in a movie on free speech called Silence where it was me and him back to back because it was an artist area. They had Kumia, they had a lot of liberals and leftists and about free speech, and I was in there. It was really good. Mike Cernovich produced it, who since has blocked me, which is funny. He is way up and down. He's the only one, though, who keeps talking about Garland and the FBI's involvement with Garland, which was pretty interesting. He keeps bringing it up. My cousin keeps showing me the posts. I like that because there should be a reckoning with that. The FBI, was in on something. They allowed a terrorist attack to happen without doing anything about it. They would have allowed it to happen. Lucky for us, the security that Pamela Geller and Robert Spencer paid for did their business, blew their heads off. Mike Hunt says, I still like Scott Adams. He's funny. I don't think he should have lost his syndication. I don't think so either. But people have the right to say, nah, we don't want to be associated with that. People have knocked me out of their whatever companies. It's the price you pay for selling any kind of anything. Texie 333. It's so great and refreshing thoughts on Skinbreaker, David Finch's best work yet. I've heard of it. I want to get it. I definitely do. I will get it. I was watching a video of his the other day. It's really, really good stuff, man. It looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. So Texie, I will definitely check it out. Hill, A Man Called Plush, my man. It's late. Rolling K is late. I have a busy day tomorrow. I'm going to go to sleep now. Be well. Rolling K, thanks for being here. All right, guys, you take care, man. Yeah, Mike, his cancer's progressing, definitely. Cernovich is why Epstein was arrested, right? Is that what Cernovich said? That's a little too much there. Guys, you take care. Be well. I will be back regular. I'll see you guys on Kings if you're there. Join us. It's a great show. You guys take care. Be well. Until next time. Thank you. Bye.